Well, thank you for joining us today. We're going to talk about Mark's book, Computations, today. It's a new edition that we've added to the Mark's book. It wasn't here before. It did used to have a good way of taking care of grades and entries and changing columns, but today we're going to show you a lot more features on how to do the computations. Let's begin with a class. This is Vusala's class, and I've made a demonstration of the Mark's book Compute. This is not a real class, but it does have some numbers in it that we can play with. So let's first choose this class and let's just see where we go. Okay, as you can see, we have a large presentation of different assignments and different dates that the assignments had. We have a list of students in the class. We have, enlarge this slightly, we have some pretend grades for this assignment. I put 23 a lot. Change this one a little bit to a 56. You'll see some grades that are in red, and I'll explain what those are all about. Those are done automatically. And we have some columns in different colors, and that's basically what the overview of this is. However, from our previous lectures and first three tutorials, we really didn't have anything up in this corner. We now have a new thing called operations, and access to lesson plans, and a way to look at the consolidated grades, because we're now in a full gradebook situation. You notice that grades are posted down here, and this particular teacher declared these numbers as points. And they were points based on 75 as being the maximum that a child could receive. Here's another example of some tests or some scores. She wrote AB, perhaps for absent, and this one was also points. An example on the same mark sheet, these were actually percentages that she was computing, and down here she declared these as percents. Remember, a teacher can declare this anything they want, percent, points, homework, or they can click here and type what they want. But percent and points are very special because over here in the corner, you're going to be able to click a button and say, look, I'd like to average out and get the total of the points assignments or of the percent assignments. This little button will calculate them, and then up here you'll begin to see the final answer. You notice here we have percentages, and we even have a mark over here. And how'd that mark get there? We'll show you that in a second here too. Okay, so that's some of the improvements that have taken place. And an overview too, without going too far, let's look underneath this operations. You can move columns, you can move rows, you can do a lot of things now. You could before, but they were hidden from your view and very difficult to find because they used to be underneath the scripts menu. They're not there anymore. They're simply here so you can get to them nice and easily. So you can move columns around if you don't like them and change their colors. You can also move rows. That means actually taking a complete assignment of a child, all their assignments, and putting them in a different place. For example, a new student comes to class and alphabetically you want to put it between two different rows. Then you can add an empty row and then you can put that child in place. You can still take anything you see here, all 20 assignments to Excel. You can look at what's called the Marks Review for any particular child, which shows all their assignments. And you can even now go to a place called Student Email Setup so that when you can group email over here, you can email an entire group or you can email just an individual. And if you want to, you can delete an entire Marks page, but there's a stipulation that there can't be any titles up here in that assignment bar. Let's go a little slower and let's talk about lessons. If you click on lessons, then you're actually going to go into the lesson plans module that you access through a different mechanism, and these are the actual lessons that she has set up for her class. Clicking on any one of these will take you to the definition of that assignment, what was intended to happen, how did it go, what the lesson was about, and references if you happen to have some particular things or search words. But that's not the purpose of this video, that's lesson planning. But it's direct relationship because on the 28th of March, perhaps there's a lesson that she was intending to impart, and that will be related to it. Okay, Let's look at the calculations first. Many times you want to set up a particular grading system, and you have a from and you have a to. So we have, if the person got, for example, from 80 to 100%, I might want to give that a 5. Now you're not limited to just a 5 number in here. You could actually have here an A plus if you chose to. It doesn't make any difference what you call that value. You can put letters or numbers in this column. I've just chosen to use a grading system that we're using in this school at the moment. From 70 to 79 there was a 4. From 60 to 69 there was a 3. And this conversion table can be copied. If you copy the conversion table, you can go to another page in your Marks book and simply paste it. Each sheet of the Marks book has a separate conversion table independent of the other. Many teachers keep percents on one page, they keep points on another, they keep different ways of doing things, but that's the way this particular one's done. Let's look now at setting things up.